Welcome to the 193rd St. Patrick's Day Parade here in Montreal. We are back, and we are back for more. And this year, we're really lucky because in contrast to last year, we've had beautiful weather, so it's going to be a really enjoyable parade. We're expecting huge crowds to come out because we know everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day. And I am here exactly to test out how well we know our Montreal Irish community. We are going to be doing trivia today to see just how well we know the Irish.
And we'll be running on a theme of the family, from the little kids on the edge of the sidewalk all the way up to the families that are behind the organization year after year. The Quins, Ken, your family, all kinds of families that contribute voluntarily.
Absolutely. We're a volunteer organization. We bring them in early, and we progress through the organization until we reach the presidency. Family.
So you know what? Without further ado, let's just get this party started. See you at the parade.
And they're off and running. The 193rd St. Patrick's Parade in Montreal, downtown, St. Catherine Street. We can see the police car that leads it off, followed by a large statue of St. Patrick, followed by a large St. Patrick. And he certainly is a wonderful thing.
He is, but before we talk about St. Patrick, we see our friends from the Guides coming by as our color guard. And they do a fantastic job. Patty McCann is involved with the guiding movement. We're happy to have them as our color party. Here we see Flick, the mascot of the MUC Police.
And we're happy to have Patty as our Vice President of Organization. She's
Absolutely.
in charge of getting this parade on the streets.
She does a fantastic job. And of course,
St. Patrick himself.
St. Patrick, sponsored by BGL Brokerage.
Right, that's been many years now. And Catherine, I think you have something to say to us.
I do, and what better way to kick off the parade than with St. Patrick himself. Who is that statue? Well, we start with St. Patrick's Parade. St. Patrick, and that is a copy of the original statue that can be found in Saul in Ireland in County Down. And since the 175th anniversary, this giant statue leads the parade.
It's fantastic. Now let's listen in to the pipes and drums of the Black Watch.
The Black Watch, one of the great repeating, participating bands in this parade, and they lead us off each year. They have just made their salute to the judges, and they are about to continue along.
It wouldn't be a parade without the Black Watch starting us off as our pipe brand.
I must say the Black Watch comes to many of our events also. They were at the ball this year. They do the introduction of head tables. Let's give a listen.
Yeah, let's listen. They're worth it.
Now we have our Chief Reviewing Officer, Lynn Lonergan Doyle, and the Grand Marshal, and the accompaniments, Michael Keneally.
Oh, that's a very nice touch.
A nice touch. Michael is a
good friend of Lynn's.
Danny Doyle.
Patty McCann.
Patty McCann, of course, the chief of the chief. Catherine has a fun fact for us.
I did. We just saw the Grand Marshal go by, and the Grand Marshal always starts the parade. He used to ride on a horse. That's a fun fact. He also has a sash and a hat, and it is a unisex role. There has been female Grand Marshals, and the Grand Marshals is selected every year in October by the UIS Executive Committee, and he or she must be of Irish descent. So the Grand Marshal just kicked off the parade.
Thank you, Catherine. And now, coming along the street, we have the Lovelies.
We have parade royalty.
Yes.
Fantastic group of girls.
Every year in the month of February, there is a contest. It's a public speaking contest, not a beauty contest. And we select the young ladies that will be our queen and princesses for the duration of the parade.
We do, and we can see the lady in red. She's our queen, Samantha Cambridge.
And it's amazing. These young ladies are so well spoken. A number of them are in law school and intend to have careers.
And of course, Richard, we have a fun fact. Over to you.
We do. There has been a queen since 1956. That is something. I mean, these ladies count themselves among royalty and heritage in the city. So since 1956, there has been a queen in this parade. And as you said, it's not a beauty pageant. To win the title, you've got to do a public speaking contest, and it ain't easy. So that's a title that is well earned.
Thank you, Catherine. Now we're looking at the RCMP pipe band. They're busy. These people were at the Quebec City Parade yesterday. Great weather there too. So let's give them a listen.
And so, Ken, the parade begins off with the Black Watch and the RCMP.
And
don't
they look fantastic in their red serges?
Absolutely, absolutely. Now we have our organizing group. These are the organizing people from the parade, past presidents, the Grand Marshal, Chief Reviewing Officer. All of these folks arrive now. We have Jimmy Coleman, I see, in one of the cars.
You can't see her, but there's Miss Margaret Healy.
Margaret Healy, the queen of the St. Patrick's Parade.
And now, let's go back to Catherine.
We've got some trivia here. So the UIS's mascot is Patty, and it's a shamrock. So do you know why the mascot is a shamrock? Is it because A, there were no roses left in Ireland, B, because it's the name of the rugby team, or C, because according to legend, St. Patrick used 3-leaf shamrocks to explain the Holy Trinity to Irish people? It would have to be C. It's also a symbol of good luck, Irish nationalism, and the rebirth of spring, which is happening here today. Spring is finally here. Back to you guys.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And you can see some of the sunlight in the background. And we're here now with some of the kids. Oh, man.
We were talking about family, you know?
This is the family thing. Now, there's a whole bunch of family come out. They sit on the edge of the curb. They watch the parade. They dream one day they'll be walking in it. And they dream one day they'll be organizing it. And all of that ends up happening. All of that ends up happening.
Well, we're just waiting for our older past presidents to slowly make their way.
And yeah, there they are.
And while they're doing that, we're looking at some scenes. There's Patty once again.
We have queens and princesses from former parades.
Yeah, look at them. They're
Pretty
coming
good
back.
turnout.
They're coming back in greater numbers.
Yeah.
It's always hard to get the queens and princesses back because they start their own families. But there's Carly Meredith right there.
There we are. And that's it. Carly Meredith and the whole gang.
Yeah, Denis O'Coder.
Right.
Thomas
And here we
Mulcair.
have our dignitaries for the Ville, City of Montreal, Tom Mulcair, a local boy, Mayor Coder, who's been at almost every event this year. It's been phenomenal, the coverage that he's given to the parade. And as they come forward, they will be going up onto the reviewing stand and reviewing the balance of the parade.
Not just the parade, though. Well, here we have the Ancient Order of Hibernians. They once organized the parade, and the United Irish Societies took over back in 1928. They're still going strong. They're still involved in the parade. They, of course, are really involved with maintaining the commemorative stone over on Bridge Street.
Okay, Catherine, you have something on the ancient order of Hibernians.
Yeah, I have something to speak to. Indeed, you know, we have this parade here today that the UIS continues to do for us, but the Ancient Order of Hibernians, we're running it from 1893 to 1928. So we owe a lot of this tradition and why it's such a big deal, and it's the third biggest parade in the world to them. And as you talked about, the Black Rock is a memorial of also that, and all the Irish did for the city. So they are still very important to the Irish community.
Absolutely, and they've carried the tradition along. As you can see, the rock is there. It's a replica of the rock where the workmen from the Victoria Bridge construction discovered they were turning over graves of people who had been in mass graves because of the disease and the typhoid, etc. And this rock was that symbol, and they made it a symbol of hope. And so we're really appreciative of the City of Montreal, CN, and then now the Ancient Order of Hibernians.
And with the Montreal Irish Monument Park Foundation, who are championing renovating the area.
Right. And now on your screen you can see the beginning of the Western University Band.
University of Western Ontario Marching Mustang Band.
Yeah, the Mustangs. Let's give a listen. It's showtime. Catherine now has something for us on the Mustangs Band.
Indeed, these guys are from Western Ontario. They came all the way over here for the Montreal St Patrick's Day Parade. That's how big of a deal it is. So they're really well known, and they're neighbors in Ontario, and we're lucky and we're grateful that they came all the way over here for us today. They brought a lot of music to our ears.
And now we have the St. Patrick Society of Montreal, its flag bearers and its members out in great numbers. We've had a great year this year. I know both of us, Ken and myself, sit on the board of St. Patrick's. The ball was a tremendous success. The luncheon was a tremendous success. It's had a very, very good year.
It's a fantastic year. I'm pleased to sit on that board. They look fancy in their sashes, and we're talking about family.
This is the biggest contingent I've ever seen from St. Patrick's.
And that's a testament to Jim Killen and all of his hard work in uniting the organization to come out and support the events.
Yeah. And they're here. They'll be saluting the judges, saluting the
reviewing stand.
The reviewing stand.
Yeah.
That's one big walking unit, man.
Yeah. If they don't win something, I'll be very surprised.
Well, that's because we stay out of the room when they do all of those choosers.
And that's why I'll be surprised. Fantastic. So here we have the Montreal Pipes and Drums.
Yeah.
They were actually also in Quebec City yesterday, so they must be tired. Fantastic. Let's listen. And as they're moving away.
Now we see Innisfail Social and Sports Club. We were invited, Pierrette, my wife, and I, to the opening of the season there in January. And I know that Innisfail is very famous, and I'm sure Catherine has something to say on that subject.
Yes, and one can ask themselves, what is an Innisvale? And I was asking myself that question too. Well, Innisvale is, as you said, a social club that was founded in 1946. It goes that far back by first-generation Irish working-class men who decided that they needed a social club for all the families. And they've been participating in this parades for 70 years. I'm telling you, this community is loyal. I've witnessed it.
Well, I can tell you, Innisfail is a great example. There's Quinn's there, Rose, who I believe...
We're talking about family. Rose is my cousin, and she's the president of Innisfail.
Right. And John McDonough, who is the...
he's a past president.
And he's the son of...
Simon McDonough.
Simon McDonough. And this year, my wife, Purette, and I were given the Simon McDonough Humanitarian Award, of which we are very, very proud.
It all ties in.
Yeah, it all does.
And here we have... we can talk about the province of Quebec and their support for us.
Yeah, well, this particular banner is intended to recognize a financial contribution from the province of Quebec.
And can I cut in?
Sure.
There's a man standing behind the Quebec banner. That man is the Grand Marshal of the Quebec City Parade that was in Quebec City yesterday.
Isn't that terrific?
Fantastic gentleman.
He's the sole survivor, is that it?
Yeah, last man standing.
Yeah, they started 4 or 5 years ago. They sent a contingent here, and they met with the UIS.
I was one of the main people helping Peter Farrell and his team.
Yeah.
They progressed wonderfully. But back to the matters at hand, we have the Shriners here.
The stars of the parade, usually, the Shriners, who come with both entertainment, they have vehicles, they have a terrific-looking group of gentlemen bearing the flags. These are all volunteers. Of course, their big thing in the city is the Children's Hospital.
Richard, they're a parade unto themselves.
Oh, they are. They just sit back.
They have fun.
The Daughters of the Nile, right? Which is the female side. And
that's right.
They're having a wonderful time today.
It's great. We're listening to their band.
Yeah.
That's the old guys. They're not quite able to march the parade anymore, but they do everything they can to entertain. Great bunch of people.
They'll stop in front of the judges, play their music. You see, every contingent that comes by has a bit of a piece. And this particular one is the musical accompaniment from the...
Oh, there we go. Let's listen to it for a minute.
And so we go to the
More
Shriners. This is their patrol.
Fundraising and fun. That's what they're about.
Yeah. When I was a kid, this used to make me crazy. I loved it.
It's fun, but when I was the parade director, this made me crazy for different reasons.
I can imagine.
Very concerned for, there's so many spectators, you're always concerned for everybody's safety.
And then you kicked it over to me as the legal advisor, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The potentate of the Karnak Shriners is the illustrious Sir Barry Schreindorfer, who we've seen at several different events. Of course, the United Irish Societies makes a generous donation every year towards the Shriners hospitals, and the potentate is always there to accept the check on behalf of his organization.
And a number of years ago, there was a question of the hospital possibly leaving Montreal, and the community rose up and got all of its friends to write in and campaign, and they managed to keep it here, and now it's part of the new complex.
That's right. They're not on the hill anymore. They're down on the glen.
Right. There's one of the Shriners clowns that we see, and they're really something for the kids. This is.
Yeah, are they walking their ducks? I haven't seen.
You'll see one of them, I think.
And they even have the Shrine Club from Cornwall, Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry Cornwall Shrine Club. They come in from out of town every year.
Yeah,
they support their brothers from Montreal, because it's all about the kids.
Yeah.
I see in the distance. Oh, there's an empty.
Well, we can see the Shriners.
There we go. There's a fire truck. That fire truck is from
That's the
Cornwall.
boy. That's the boys,
Yeah.
right? They come all the way from Cornwall every year. And
I have to say, the faces are smiling a little bit more on the vehicles as they go by.
I must say,
It has something to do with the weather.
has something to do with the sun. Look at the
sun.
sunshine in those faces.
Yeah.
Look at the sunshine on the far side of the street.
Yeah, beautiful.
I can tell you, it sure beats 40 below zero, doesn't it?
It does.
Last year was just insane.
And this parade within a parade, they're forever winning awards. They've won for best overall unit.
Okay, well, Catherine has somebody out of the crowd.
Indeed, I'm here. What are your names?
I'm Satsu.
I have Paraj.
And what brought you out to the parade today?
I brought him.
Thank you for bringing him. You know what? I want to ask you guys something because coming up here we have the Aaron Sports Association, and I want to know if you think that in Montreal, does it exist that there's an Irish Man of the Year? Yes or no?
Oh, yes.
Okay, and if there is, what does it take to become Irish Man of the Year?
I don't know. I don't know ideas.
Take a guess. Any guess?
I don't know. Be a good Irish guy.
Well, that is close. You have to be Irish, and 2, you have to give back to the community. So maybe thank you for participating.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
And as is the tradition this day, everybody is Irish. So you're welcome.
That
And-
answer was great. Be a
Yeah.
good Irish guy. And
Be a good Irish
the
guy.
Irishmen of the Year are all good Irish guys.
You couldn't say it better, eh?
No. We're still working on the Shriners, though.
Look down the street, they don't seem to end.
I
Right?
said it earlier. They're a parade within a parade.
They're a
And they've won
terrific
awards. I was trying to say a little earlier. Best overall unit, 2004, 2007, 2009. The Simon McDonough Award. It tells you the quality that they bring to the
Yeah.
parade.
And year-round, eh? They attend all of the events and they provide volunteer people. Now,
You have the Shrine Bowl at Concordia.
the point at which we should mention Ken O'Donnell, who passed away recently. Ken was a key Shriner. He was a Shriner for his life. And he would show up. He was a greeter for the United Irish Societies. He's the husband. He has widowed
Margaret Healy.
Margaret Healy. And basically, Kenny was the guy who was here. He'd be right here looking at us across the street
Yeah.
and making sure things were under control at this end of the world.
And we miss him.
We do.
And I know the Shriners miss him as well.
Yeah. There's a guy that would take you on a tour of that hospital any time of the day or night.
Here we have, I believe this is the float from the Shriners Hospital. Having some fun with some kids. on
There's
the
your
float.
man with the duck. There's your man with
There's
the
my
duck.
walking duck boy.
You're a walking duck man.
There he is.
And as you can see, folks, everybody wants to stop and wave to the judges and say hello, and then they'll come back down a little further. They'll say hello to all of the people on their viewing stand. So the key to this whole operation is just to take it easy. It's a family day, and we're all out here to celebrate family. And
Let's listen to this for a minute, Richard.
yeah.
Here we have the Order of the Eastern Star. It's their 10th year participating in the parade. They're a fraternal organization comprising of Master Masons and their wives. And they're there to have some fun. And they're well dressed. Look at that.
And they're properly well dressed.
They are. Their green ties.
Yeah. No, it's nice to see people like that decide after the years to come and, you know, show their solidarity.
Richard, I hear some music in the background. This is
Oh,
a Fusilier Mont Royal. First year in the parade that I know of, and we're happy to have them. So let's give it a listen.
I think they're coming back, actually, but let's have a listen. what I call parade music.
Where have they been all these years?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Wow.
So proud to have them back.
They were a last-minute addition. They volunteered their services about a week and a half ago. And,
Excellent.
Wow.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Irishman of the Year, Wayne Hogan. And a walking group from the Aaron Sports Association, which names and votes for its Irishmen each year. And they're saluting now to the judges. And I'd say that the competition this year for a marching unit goes between St. Patrick's and the Aaron Sports so far.
Well, the Aaron Sports is who we model ourselves after normally. And Mr. Wayne Hogan, he's a good Irish guy.
Yeah, and his daughter Kim introduced him at the breakfast. Oh, you had 800 people at the Aaron Sports breakfast this year. It's been a great year for people turning out, showing solidarity. Eh? Good-looking group of gentlemen.
They always are. They're the models for all the other organizations.
I see my friend Glenn McCambridge there, and his daughter has been the queen this year.
Glenn Cambridge.
Glenn Cambridge.
Samantha Cambridge, the queen.
Yeah. And I always confuse them with the McCambridges.
They've been participating for so many years in the parade. What do we have here? Kanawaki Mohawk Peacekeepers. Look at these guys. I don't believe we've seen them in the parade. They offer primary service and law enforcement over on the territory, focusing on safety, protection, and accountability.
There's always been a good Kanawagi representation, but it's mostly from the Knights of Columbus and from the other. That's
the fire department as well.
An innovation, yeah. That's an innovation for sure. See some of their firefighters there. Get a shot of the sunlight. Man, tell me about it.
Yeah, I believe the firefighters came in right around in 1997 for the first time, somewhere around there. They try to come in every year. They support us.
Well, it's mutual, you know. They have their volunteerism and their things that they take care of for the folks out there, and basically, it's a good connect. It's an excellent connect.
And they're not too far from us. They're just over the bridge.
That's right.
When it's open.
And I know Loyola High School always has exchange programs with them in sports and athletics and things,
I went to school with a number of the lads from Kanawaki, including Willie White, if I remember correctly.
A long tradition, because when I was there in the 1960s, they were doing the same thing, you know.
Well, that's the service to the community that Loyola is about.
Yeah. Here's a lovely fire truck.
Yeah, it's the fire brigade.
Piece of equipment.
That's a 2015 Rosenbauer rescue pumper.
There you go.
Did you know that, Richard?
Yeah, I know it now.
Okay.
I know it now.
Here we have Greyhound Rescue Quebec. They're perennial winners of the Lafleur Golf Club Trophy. They've won it 6-7 years running now.
These are not buses, eh? These are dogs.
These are dogs, not buses.
Okay. Catherine has something on the dogs.
On the Greyhound Rescue Mission of Quebec, indeed. Did you know that there was a Greyhound Rescue Mission? Well, there is, and so it's a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to finding loving and respectable homes for retired racing greyhounds. Those are retired racing greyhounds. That's quite something, and they're in the parade with us, and it gives some diversity. So they were worth mentioning.
Absolutely. Catherine, thank you.
The dogs are always decked out in green. And that's probably a big reason why they win their awards.
One there is decked out in gold, for God's sake.
Wow, he's the cream of the crop.
There you go. Okay.
The Borough of Verdun, Arrondissement de Verdun. They're great supporters of the parade and the United Irish Societies. The borough holds a reception every year for us, and we're properly received.
That's your hometown, isn't it?
It is, Verdun. Yeah. Verdun. Anthony Bruce, I see from the Legion, leading the color party. The Legion is very involved in the community as well, as they should be. And I'm proud to say they're my comrades.
And they have their own bunch of rowdies.
They do. Right? They do, but they save that for a different day. Here we have the Verdun Ticats Football Association, showing youth sports and having some fun. There's great things you can learn from sports. Discipline.
A lot of fellowship.
Fellowship.
Teamwork.
oddly enough, how to lose. It's easy to win, but you really have to learn how to lose properly.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that you learn, to lose with grace. Of course, the Doyle family.
Yeah.
The Doyle family is involved. They were involved with the Verdun Ticats.
Well, these are the families, the Doyles, who presently the president and his
sons,
and
all
his
three
sons,
of them,
and all of three of them, and all there. They're out in front.
Oh, I see Monsieur Luc Gagnon, borough councillor. Wally Gregory, Irishman of the Year a number of years ago. He's a fixture in Verdun and St. Thomas More Parish.
And Sterling Downey.
Sterling Downey. You can see him with his beard. Walking around. Oh, no, that's a clown, sorry.
Now, don't confuse your city councillor with a clown. My God.
I'm not going to. I'm kidding. Sterling is a fantastic man.
He's a great guy. He turned out to everything this year.
He's ever present in the community. And he's actually noticeable because of the beard, I think.
Loves to kiss the ladies. And here we are. We have now
Educal Call, I think.
Yeah.
And their slogan is moderation is always in good taste. The United Irish Societies has teamed up with Educal Call the last 3-4 years. I think 3 years.
Yeah, and it was
and it's been well received by the community and population in general.
What they do is they poster the idea of tolerance inside the bars, and the bar keeps, and the pub keeps. They all are very pleased to cooperate, and it shows moderation and it shows responsibility.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a drink, but you have to know your limits. Yeah. They're a new entry in the parade. They've been behind the scenes somewhat with their campaign, but now they're front and center. Doing a great job.
Yeah. See another one of our sponsors, Chalet Barbecue.
Chalet Barbecue. Chalet Barbecue.
Very right there. And that's a beautiful picture of the downtown, with the sunlight showing and the entire operation of the parade itself.
And I mean, there's just people all over the place.
Yeah.
It's 1 degree and
there's somebody festive.
Last year was -5. It felt like
festive.
Thanks for coming out, guys. We're here. Hey, how are you?
Quite a group from the CBC.
We're CBC Montreal. Thanks for coming out today.
Frank Cavallaro.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Frank Cavallaro leading things off. The whole team there.
But behind these guys, we have the McCambridge family, St. Anne's Parish.
Now the story of St. Anne's Parish we tell every year, and it never gets tiring. St. Anne's Parish is in Griffintown, where in effect they knocked down the church.
They knocked down the community.
And they rebuilt the community. Actually, as a matter of fact, the housing and everything else that was there was destroyed for the making of the roadways for Expo 67, and now there's a resurgence that's unbelievable. There's more condominiums there than you can shake a stick at.
Yeah, it's a true revitalization. But even though the church is gone, we remember St. Anne's Parish. The McCambridge family has championed that, and they've been in the parade for over 75 years.
Yeah.
They walk with the Doyles, the Kellys, the O'Donnells, a lot of families there.
Well, the families are the root of the entire thing. It's, I know you received your interest from your dad, who was the president of the UIS. My father was a historian for about 25 years. He was the patch and the connection in the city of Montreal for the Green Line, right? So it was a very special kind of a family thing that we all get inspired by our seniors, and they help us to understand what we should be doing.
There's one of ours going by, Charlene McCambridge. She sat on the executive as our Director of Advertising and Public Relations. And she's gone back to be with her family, walking in the parade. Beautiful smile.
Now there's the third candidate for an excellent walking unit.
Yeah.
A mix between males and females, and God knows, kids, and there's a family group.
They are. The Quins tried to compete with that a number of years ago, and it's tough to compete with the McCambridges. But the Quins did win a few trophies, but over time, the McCambridges just, they dominate. They're so huge.
Well, they've got the numbers and they got the commitment, you know.
They have the tradition there.
And I know inside the organization committee, which is about 12 of us, the McCambridges are always well represented. And they always have the best of the community at heart. And they work really hard at it all.
Good to see you, Mr. McCambridge. There's just so many of them. I went to school with Brent McCambridge. There's McCambridges in Verdun, everywhere.
They're universal.
Yeah, I see Derek McCambridge.
Oh, you're universal McCambridge.
It's my man Derek McCambridge, a few years younger than me, but he did go to school with my sister. Again, family affair.
And the ones aren't in the contingent. They're on the street working for the organization of the parade as deputy marshals or God knows whatever else.
That's right. Ronald C. Lister. If you ever need a locksmith, those are the people to go to.
Yeah, he's a locksmith, but he makes a lot of very, very important contributions to the community. And these are leadership things, you know. You get people that just come to the surface. They come straight in. They want to show you what they got.
They do. And here's a group that'll show us what they have. The Bernadette Short School of Irish Dance is coming up. They've been around since the 1970s, I think.
Yeah.
Some great supporters of the community. Bernadette, Pat, and Marie. And let's throw it over to Catherine for a fun fact.
We should be very impressed by the Bernadette School of Irish Dancing because they are world medalists in Irish dancing championships. So we're very honored to have them here, that they rep us on the global scene, and it's really something that they're part of world championships. They're winners, and we get to see them here today. How about we Irish jig with them, no? Shall we do a little Irish jig? They'll probably do a better job than me, but you know, A for effort.
The World Championships are going on in Glasgow. They were here last year.
They were. And dancers have done extremely well over the years.
They have. Bernadette, Pat, Marie Short, fantastic organizers.
They support everything.
Here we have the Scouts. Glad to see the Scouts back this year. After a year's absence, the Scouts are back. And I think we have CJD coming by.
I think we have a gang of rowdies.
This is going to be a loud one, I think.
All right. Okay, Catherine, tell us the story.
We are here with the CJD 800 float. I'm a huge fan. I listen to them. I'm a devoted listener. And this year, their theme is a pajama party. Aren't they lucky? They got to stay in bed this morning. They're still staying in bed. It's a pajama party.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at those kids. Yeah. Are they thrilled? Hey, they're the heroes of the St. Patrick's Parade.
There's a bunch. Those are a bunch of children from the Montreal Children's Hospital.
Yeah,
up there enjoying
having a pillow fight. Having a pillow fight.
Yeah, hopefully.
Good fun.
St. Lambert Locks Rugby. They're a fun group. They've been around since the late 1990s in our parade. Full of energy, throwing the rugby balls around and jumping up and down and getting the crowd all riled up.
They come to the parade and they're going to demonstrate how the rugby players enjoy themselves and have a good time.
Making noise.
We connect them directly to Edgecalan.
Or the Liver Foundation.
Oh, the Liver Foundation. Right.
It's a great...
St. Pat, there we are. That's
Sacred Heart right there.
That's Sean O'Donnell.
Sean O'Donnell.
Sean O'Donnell and the Sacred Heart
waving
group.
To the dignitaries. And
Catherine, Sacred Heart School. Go for it.
Yeah, the Sacred Heart School just went by, and a fun fact about the Sacred Heart School that most might not know is that they moved locations 6 times already in the city of Montreal. Right now they're located on Atwater Avenue, but that's something. They really are an institution, and it's their 2nd year back in the parade. It's great to have them. Great to have everybody.
Of course, I think Richard has a connection to the Sacred Heart School. Tell us a bit about it.
My wife was there for 11 years. She went to grade school. Elizabeth graduated in the late 1900s. And this is the wonderful bus. The bus that was taken and fundraised by the members of the foundation and members of the school. And so we're very proud to be able to offer the girls that particular facility.
It's important to get them to and from their events safely. Here we have the SPCA.
Yeah.
They've been participating for 16 years now. The SPCA itself was founded in 1869. Did you know that, Richard?
Well, I did, because I know they've been around for an awful long time.
Well,
and they do excellent work.
1869. Whenever there's any public issues of animal welfare, it's quite often we see Alana Devine on television commenting.
And
so
once
they're
again, that's a very special marching unit. I mean, that's about the 5th marching unit. It seems to me the numbers are bigger than ever. And these folks are just dressed up, every outfit and every...
Superheroes. Captain America.
Here we are. There's my charming, lovely...
I don't know how you can have 2 Spider-Men, though.
Oh, there's a weekend and a weekday. You know, you never know when trouble strikes.
Stunt double?
Stunt double.
Does whatever a spider can, I guess.
Yeah. So everyone go out and adopt a dog or a cat or a member of the board of directors of the SPCA.
They can use a hug, I think.
Yeah.
And behind them, we're going to see K911 Animal Ambulance. It's a private animal rescue company, and it was born out of a tragic experience on the river when an owner was unable to find someone to get him to a vet. And so he took matters into his own hands, and he's founded a company. And they're here.
Well, these things spring up, eh? They spring up, and people just go out and do good.
With healthy dogs.
Yeah. You know, it's a great thing to celebrate with this parade, all of the good that people do and all of the things that they get involved in. Now, there's a parish where we hold a lot of our meetings.
That's right. Speaking of good works, and there's Brendan Glenane, one of the elders there within the parish. Longtime member of the United Irish Society.
Oh, yes. And he shows up at every meeting. Supportive and always encouraging the folks and everything they're doing. It's a wonderful... Everybody finds a way. Everybody finds a way to do something that makes sense, that makes a contribution. And so, you know, that's the whole key to the issue. And it's everybody together.
Richard, look at the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now we're looking at flags.
That's amazing. And you know,
there we go.
Unlike last year, they're also on both sides of the street.
Yeah.
Last year was so cold, everybody was on the north side, right?
Yes, and we were on the south side.
We were on the south side. And that sun has got about another 20 minutes, and it'll be right on us.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Here's still part of the St. John Brebeuf contingent, Faith First. Yeah. Of course, learning about Catholicism within the church was taken away from the schools during the school reforms a number of years ago.
Well, you know, it's like anything else. The government takes things over and then they drop the ball. So somebody's got to step up. And this is a prime example.
There's the former marshals of the parade, as we see walk by, tail end. A good group. See Wendy D'Souza in there. This is a big contingent too.
Yes, it is.
It's a very active parish within the diocese, and a lot of the parishes have fallen away from the parade, but they seem to come back just as strong as ever.
Yeah,
every
well,
year.
you know, between even St. Anne's, after they've sort of shut down, they're still there. Here's Orgeau Bougie, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of people being entertained by the parade, or the spectators in the parade.
Yeah.
That's an odd kind of a thing, but that's just me.
And here we are. Here we are. Sir Winston Churchill's pub.
A little bit of it.
Oh, I'm sure Catherine has something to say to us on that subject.
Yes, Winnie's is here. I'm actually with Kevin Murphy, who's in charge of the PR for the parade. Kevin, let's do some trivia. Is Sir Winston's a Scottish pub, an Irish pub, an English pub, or an Australian pub?
An Australian pub here in Montreal?
What kind of pub is it? Winnie's.
Oh, Winnie's, it's English pub.
It is an English pub, and it was the first pub on Crescent Street. So there you go. We never forget the Winnie's float.
And so, Kevin, we will give you a mark of about 62 for those answers, right?
And that shows you the strength of our school system and our history courses here in Quebec.
Right.
That he was able to answer that on the fly without even hearing the question.
Oh, yeah. This is tough work. This is tough work. We now have the Knights of Columbus, a perennial favorite. Everybody loves to see them. They've made their salute to the reviewing stand, the judges. They're now going by the reviewing stand.
And as we see them going by, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention our good friend Don Pigeon, who was a Knight of the 4th degree, passed away about a month ago. The Knights were there in all their splendor to give Don his honor.
And they attend the massive anticipation, and they do all of the wonderful things that have to be done when you're celebrating things. They're just so available and so good to us.
They are. They're true community organization with a Catholic focus. Of course, they've been around for years. They've participated here at the parade for 42 of them.
Right. And now we have 2 cars from Dignity.
Well, yeah, those are our friends, Brother Knights, who are unable to walk in the parade anymore.
Right. Well, you find that, eh? Sometimes you get a walking group, and then you get the cars where they'll follow along and still be able to be part of the parade.
That's right, and that's what happened with that little minibus before. It's just some of the older members of the St. John Brebeuf community, the Knights, the Air and Sports community, so that they can participate. Here we have the pipes and drums of the Black Watch Association Band. Bob Lebreche, their drum major. You can see him walking well. This band performed at the St. Patrick Society Ball.
They sure did, and I can tell you they've got one young lady who is an absolute gem. She's the last drummer in the drummers.
There she is playing the snare drum, I think.
Yeah, and she is something to see.
She was featured at the ball. No pressure there. Pipe major is Brian McKenzie. He was the chief reviewing officer of our parade just a few short years ago. Shows you the intermixing between the Irish and the Scottish here in Montreal.
Yeah. Very
right
special.
Behind them.
Very special, right? But St. Andrew's Society. And you know, the connection between all of those societies and all the good works that people do. We had the Festival of Bloomsday, which I know the St. Patrick Society is supporting again this year, we believe. And onward from there.
Oh, St. Patrick himself. St. Patrick himself.
Catherine, give us some trivia.
Hello, I am here with your name, sir.
Peter McQueen, City Councilor and NDG.
City Councilor and NDG Peter McQueen, and he is willing to play some trivia with us right now. And we have the St. Andrew's Society float coming up. So my question for you is, who is the patron saint of Scotland? Is it A, Gordon, B, Edward, C, Andrew, or D, William?
St. Patrick.
No, the St. Andrew's Society of Scotland.
Of Scotland. Okay, you said Ireland. Of Ireland, it's St. Andrews.
Yes, it is St. Andrews. Thank you for playing St. Patrick's trivia with us.
Anytime, my pleasure.
Have a good parade.
And Peter's a fine example of someone trying hard to be Irish.
He is Irish. He's a member of the St. Patrick Society.
He identifies the patron saint of Scotland as being St. Patrick.
Of course, Peter needs no introduction in NDG.
He's a hard worker.
Omnivisible.
Yeah.
Omnivisible man.
And we're always, we're blessed by the people in public life in this city because, notwithstanding some recent problems, there are people out there doing lots of good work and lots of good for the community.
For sure.
Now we're looking at the Canadian Armed Forces.
Well, this is the Canadian Veterans Advocacy. It's their 4th time in the parade. They're a non-profit organization. Michel Blais is their president and founder.
And the artillery battery has come.
They are. Yes,
yeah.
they have. That's the third Montreal battery of artillery.
Yeah, they hadn't shot anybody yet today. But,
Not yet.
you know,
It's their 7th year. If they had shot somebody, I don't think we would invite them back.
This is interesting. Interesting armaments. You know where our taxes are going, right? We're very pleased to have them with us.
Of course. Of course, we're looking at a sign of the St. Patrick Society. St. Patrick stepped up again this year.
Yes, they did.
And they're one of the partners of the parade. And
there was a kind of a murmur that was some financial necessity, and boy, people just jumped in.
Weimaraner Association. Their 3rd year in the parade. The Weimaraner is a large dog. Not as large as the World Hound, but they're originally bred for hunting in the 19th century. TSN 690.
Now, these are the neighbors, eh?
Yeah, these are TSN 690. They're also present in the community. Let's just listen to them. They're loud.
That's the heart and soul of sport in Montreal.
For sure. They broadcast the Habs, the Alouettes, the Impact.
St. Patrick's Day from your home of the Habs, Als, and Impact. TSN 690, make some noise.
Of course, they also broadcast the Irishman of the Year breakfast. They have a great partnership with the Aaron Sports Association.
Yeah, they're great fun.
I just saw Carey Price in next.
And we have a financial sponsor, CN.
CN with
who
Little
have also
Opie.
stepped up this year.
Yeah, that's
stepped up and provided some money for the running of the parade. You know, there's no salaries involved. All of it is volunteering. All of it is volunteers working together, coming together.
Look at those kids, Richard, on the train.
Okay.
There's 100 more kids. Well, 100, I'm exaggerating. Many more kids on that little train than last year.
Yeah, everything seems to be growing, eh? There's a positivity in the city. There's all kinds of good things going on, and
of course it has to do with the weather.
People are happy to be here. Well, there's that.
You know,
there's that.
It has to do a lot with the weather, but the CN stepped up as they have in other years. Speaking of stepping up, Lester B. Pearson School Board, they offer their students to carry the majority of our banners, and it offers them an opportunity to do some community service, which helps them with their graduation.
Our pride and joy, Sheila Showers, always makes the connection, eh?
She does.
Yeah.
She does. She's a hard worker with the United Irish Societies, and she does what she can for us.
And there's a family tradition. She's Margaret Healy's daughter.
She is. And she's dancing on the judges' stand right now. I can see her.
There you go.
She's loving the float.
It's her gang.
Yeah. They normally have a band up there. I think they might. It is. They have a live band of students. Let's give her a little bit of a listen. We just saw Lakeside Academy go by, Richard. Lakeside and Riverview School in Verdun
Well, Catherine, the most famous parish in the city, St. Gabriel's. Tell us about it.
Yes, and why is it so famous? And what is St. Gabriel's Parish? Well, it's important to the parade in the Irish community because it's located in Point St. Charles, the headquarters of the Montreal Irish, and it holds the annual Mass of the Anticipation for St. Patrick's Day every year, 1 week before the parade. So now I have a question for you two over there, a bit of trivia. Can you tell me what is exactly a Mass of Anticipation? Is it A, to surgically remove a mass from the body? B, the Mass that blesses the parade 1 week before and is the official opening to the ceremony, Irish Holy Week? Or C, to wait in anticipation of Mass at church? What do you think it is?
all of the above?
It could be.
Could we have some extra choices?
No, sorry. Unfortunately, you know, we're on a tight schedule here.
Okay,
But
all right.
I'll teach you that it's the Mass that blesses the parade 1 week before. It's the religious ceremony that blesses the parade.
And this year it worked.
It worked.
It worked.
The sun is here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Catherine.
Of course, their big sponsor is King's Transfer Van Line.
Yeah.
They always come through and help the parish do what they need to do for the parade. And look at this castle.
That's the castle, yeah.
A new float every year.
Now, I'm asking myself, what exact street in Point St. Charles is that castle on?
Is it Margaret Healy's house?
Margaret Healy's house, across from the park. Just drop in for tea anytime.
Not toast.
Right?
Margaret doesn't do toast.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful float. Kudos to the parish members who took the time to build
done.
that. A lot of commitment from the parish.
And there's a lot of aerial sports guys there at the parish also. And that's a traditional connection.
For sure. Here, a bunch of green balloons. Party expert, group party experts. Their first year in the parade. They're one of the largest party supply stores and costume stores in Canada. And they're suitably decked out for our festivities here.
Well, that is in effect, you know,
Oh, so are they. Chewbacca and Darth Vader.
Yeah, well, you know, when you get to the point where you're trying to cover the numbers and the bands that have to be brought in by bus and the things that have to be done and the banners for the streets and the closing of the streets and security stuff and everything else, those expenses,
All
it takes
cost money.
commercial enterprises like this
To help us out.
out.
Yeah. And party experts have stepped up this year.
They know how to party.
They do. They're experts.
Oh, Jesus. I may go home now. I may go home now. McLean's Pub, in loving memory of Ian McLean.
Yeah, there they are. Ian, it's a nice pub on Peel Street. Ian McLean was a great friend of the United Irish Societies.
Yeah.
And of course, the pub still is.
And the United Irish Societies are great friends of all of the pubs.
They are.
They love them all, and they all come to the fore. You know, events that we hold when we sell books of advertising and things like that in the community, and we do a lot of it. The pubs are always there.
They
Front
support
cover,
us.
back cover. Yeah. Good stuff.
This is St. Anthony's Parish. It's being led off by a very great band that we're going to hear in a moment. Les Eclairs de Quebec, who were also in Quebec City yesterday.
Yeah.
You always know that it's them, their colors, their enthusiasm, their music. So let's just listen to them.
And they'll put on a show.
Richard, they've been, the Les Eclairs de Quebec have been
40
participating in the parade for over 40 years now.
Because I can remember back into the 70s
Yeah,
that
back
they were
when
there.
When the majorette bands were more popular.
Yeah.
In the 1990s, a man by the name of Claude Leclerc would bring all these bands in for us.
Yeah, amazing
He's since
stuff.
passed, but he would bring them in for us. We forged a relationship individually with the bands now.
Right.
And they come back every year. These guys are favorites of ours, of St. Anthony's Parish as well. They always ask if we can place them, if possible, with Les Eclairs de Quebec. There's a great marriage between those two.
An affinity.
Here we have, speaking of families, we can see the Gilmore family, the McGurnahan family in here, the Doherty family.
Yeah.
Family.
It's a year for families.
It is.
A year for families. Catherine, I understand you have something for us, so why don't you just take that away?
Yes, I'm with a nice family here. What are all your names?
My name's Simon.
Laura.
Stephanie.
Isabel.
And can you guys tell me why you like coming out as a family to the St. Patrick's Day Parade and what it means for you?
Oh, it's so much fun for the family. It's beautiful to just see people happy.
And you guys?
Well,
Why do you like it?
It's really cool.
Yeah, it is cool, and it's really Irish. Everybody's Irish today. We're going to be back with them in a few seconds for some trivia. Thanks, guys.
Okay, well done. Thank you. And now the Irish Republic. We're celebrating this year, 1916, the Easter uprising.
Commemorating the rising, and this is our friends from the Coalition for Peace in Ireland.
Right.
They held a little talk on Friday. I see a city councillor from Dublin who's holding the James Connolly
Portrait.
There's
yeah.
the word. I was speechless.
There's the word, yes. Well, you know, we're trying to help you out, son.
Thank you. There's Dr. Ray Bassett on the reviewing stand. Of course, this is his last
hurrah
here in Montreal. He's, of course, leaving in August, I believe, going back to Ireland.
Ray is there with his wife and Kathleen Wheel and the mayor.
Yeah,
and,
but to get back to Ray, he's been great, a great man in our community. St. Patrick's Society bestowed on him and Patricia honorary membership on Thursday at the luncheon. And it's just a testament to the love for him and the commitment.
You know, it's always variables, eh? You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
It's a little like Forrest Gump, but you know, Ray showed up everywhere. I mean, St. Columba in the middle of the summertime, and they dedicated part of a cemetery and a whole thing to the Irish community that found themselves there in rural Quebec. Okay, and you know, all kinds of things like that going on. And Catherine, tell us what you got.
So it's time for some Irish trivia, and we're going to try to find out if you could. We have the Montreal Shamrocks Gaelic Athletic Association that just came by. So we should ask, what are Ireland's two national sports? Do you know?
Football and
Hurling. Well, aren't they just the smartest? You guys know your 101 Irish culture. Thank you for playing. Thanks, guys. Happy St. Patty's Day.
I think you picked the right people, right? I was going to say imbibing, but that would be too big a word. We're now going to be witnessing.
GAA is going by.
Yes, we're going to be witnessing a demonstration of Irish football, Irish rugby, and hurling.
Well, it's not rugby. It's Gaelic football.
Okay.
And it's hurling.
Hurling is not baseball.
No, it's sort of a hybrid between
not softball.
Between hockey and
we were at St. Columba last summer, and one of the things that they featured was a game, an absolute game that they set up between a team from Ottawa and a team from Montreal, and they instructed us on how hurling is played.
Yeah, if you notice as you're watching them, they're using the stick for everything. If the ball falls on the ground, they use their stick to pick it back up.
Yeah.
They don't pick the ball up with their hands. Otherwise,
throw the ball up and whack it with the stick.
Otherwise, they'd have broken knuckles and whatnot. And we don't want that.
I'm sure they do have that anyway.
There's a respect amongst the players. They're walking along the street with their goalposts, which they had last year.
That's handy. It's handy that you bring your own goalpost to a parade.
Well, have goalposts will travel.
Yeah. That's it. Shoot the ball down the street, guys. Oops, we go.
Well, they're doing as many of the groups do. They're trying to do their performance for the judging.
Right. And
to show the crowd as well.
And the deputy marshals are in a panic situation, trying to get the parade to move.
They're afraid to step into them.
Step into a bunch of Irish guys with clubs.
Yeah.
Right, good luck.
And the crowd goes wild. The GAA's been around
God, forever.
Forever. Martin Green, I believe, was one of the protagonists in setting that up here in Montreal. And Martin Green, of course, is one of our past presidents in the United Irish Societies.
Sure.
And I do believe he was also involved with Inishvale. So he's a man who came over and was involved in the community.
Well, reminds us of Simon McDonough and some of the other characters, eh?
Yeah,
I see a banner here from Concordia Gaelic Athletic Association, and
yes,
I guess they're
sort of associated with them,
running the rugby and the
at the university. It's the first Gaelic athletic club at a university here in Canada, as far as I know. One of our marshals, actually two of our marshals, I think, the Pines, are with the Concordia.
And the Moran Academy, the Irish dancing, right? Now, there's about 3 or 4 that I know of Irish dancing groups in the city.
Well, you have the Moran Academy, the Young Academy, the Mary-Claude Rousseau, of course, the Shorts with the Celtic Grace Dancers and the Bernadette Short School of Irish Dance. Get the Shannon Irish Dancers in the Quebec City area.
Right.
And I'm sure there are others around that I'm not aware of.
I remember going to Richmond, Quebec for St. Patrick's Day, and they had an Irish dancing group.
I'm
they
sure
had
they still do.
even had a seniors group.
Really?
Irish dancers.
I'm sure Bernadette and her team are involved there as well. Oh, the Costello Academy of Irish Dance.
Right.
Just set up on off island in the Vaudreuil area. And of course, he's
so they're doing their little demonstration.
They are at ground level.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat to see, you know. It's great to interact with the crowd that way.
Yeah.
They're not on a float.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah, they can just dance along. I'm sure their little legs are tired at the end of the parade.
Oh my goodness! But they're thrilled, eh?
Yeah, they're having fun. They're all smiling.
And that's age that they buy in, eh? They buy into the parade. They buy into the selection night for the princesses and I say the princesses and the queen because really they're a wonderful group of young people.
Well, some of them we see dancing with Bernadette Short one year, and the next year they're competing to be the queen of the parade, and we've seen some succeed.
And here's Mike Griffin's Grang from the Honey Martin's
Pub. Yeah, and NEG's community pub.
He was the Irishman of the Year at the MAA the other day.
Right.
And it was very nice day.
They're very involved in the community. The Griffins are a big family in NDG. Of course, quite a number of them have passed through NDG minor baseball that I've seen.
Minor baseball and Sacred Heart. Michael's had, I think, 6 of the cousins and daughters and whatever else in Sacred Heart.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they're a very respectful bunch of young men who have come through the baseball program, which is what baseball teaches you, about respect and dedication.
Well, you're a big guy in NDG for baseball, aren't you?
I was president there a number of years ago. I helped them out following my presidency with their public relations.
Oh, yeah.
And I've moved on a little bit. I've passed the torch to some younger parents. It should be a parent-led organization, and that's why I've stepped away. My son is he's aged out, as they say.
And here's the museum. My father was actually sponsored when he was the Grand Marshal by the Museum for the Les Pompiers.
Pompiers Auxiliaires Montreal.
Yeah.
They brought out their horses this year.
Oh, wow.
Look at this vintage.
You get a little sunlight, everybody comes out, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Simply amazing.
Joyeux St. Patrick, indeed. Of course, a lot of the Irish are firemen or policemen within the community, and so it's a good marriage. The Pompiers Auxiliaires de Montreal also service our Irish coffees over on the reviewing stand. Not this reviewing stand, the one with the dignitaries.
Yes.
But don't they look fantastic in their uniforms?
Oh, they look lovely.
Yeah, these are auxiliary firefighters. They help out at fires.
Yeah, and the museum up on
Saint Laurent.
Saint Laurent and Laurier is really fascinating. It has pictures of some of the biggest fires of the city. You see whole neighborhoods would be burnt down, and It's just amazing.
Well, we've seen some grand marshals who were fire chiefs.
Yep.
The Doolins. Who else have we seen? Grand marshals.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
policemen.
the guys that have
Chiefs.
done, you know, the
Quinns, the O'Reillys.
O'Reillys.
O'Reillys are
Your
firemen.
father was a fireman?
He
right?
was a fireman. Yes, he was. He was president. Never grand marshal, though. But don't they look great with their vintage up on the horses?
Well, this is a responsible thing, you see.
It
Poop,
is.
Poop and scoop.
Well, they didn't expect that in Quebec City, and our friends from the RCMP
Gave them a prize.
Yeah, they didn't properly dispose of what they needed to dispose of. So we have a little bit of a delay here as matters are taken. Oh, here we go.
Well, there's a fireman coming to the rescue.
As they always do.
As they always do.
And the reviewing stand erupts in applause.
Right. Now, with the politicians, no, I won't say that. I was going to make a relationship between...
Richard, it's not the day for politics.
No, okay, it's not nice. Be nice.
No. See Mrs. Patricia Bassett up on the reviewing stand, decked out in a nice green tam, I think.
She was
taking a picture of the firefighters at
She
work.
was very pleased.
Look at these horses, Richard. Aren't they majestic?
They
with
are
their green
something.
ties.
And they got bells on.
As everybody should come into the parade.
Yeah.
So this is a 1923 Bickle pumper fire truck that's being pulled by the horses.
I'm impressed.
And years ago, I'm sure this is what you would see roaring by during an emergency.
Now, these are two of the black stallions that you'd see on the mountain. You see them out there grazing in out the area.
Yeah, they don't get out too much to do this sort of thing. Of course, the urban environment's not ideal for horses.
I'm noticing something. The parade is going slowly. Last year at 40 degrees below zero, it went by like a bullet.
Yeah, it's a little...
Okay. And now there's time to clean up after the horses and take their time and
so we're looking
sit
at
in the central space.
If I could just say about this fire truck, this is a 1946 Tillerman antique fire vehicle. And it was originally stationed with the Lachine Fire Department. Now it's...
Ladies and gentlemen, can I announce something that my compatriot here is the son of a fireman, and he knows everything about fire trucks.
I've been called worse.
Did you grow up with fire trucks, Ed?
No, not well. Yeah, well, we'd always listen on a scanner for fires, and not that we would chase them much, but if there was one in the neighborhood, we'd go by and just to see what things were going on before being ushered away by our friendly police department.
Well, I was taught to chase any automobile accident because we had no automobile insurance by the government at the time. You'd throw your cards out the window as you drove by, right?
A true lawyer.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Here's another fire vehicle from the Pompiers Auxiliaires.
So these are some of their museum pieces, I guess.
They're no longer in active service.
Yeah. They're gorgeous. I mean, we are fanatics about Chicago fire. My wife cannot let
we watched that one.
An episode of Chicago Fire go by without...
But she's watching it for the guys. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's why she used to watch the Expos, right?
For the guys.
For the guys. The guys' bottoms. Right? He runs so nicely, that fellow. Right?
What is his name anyway? It doesn't matter.
Now we got to figure out what's
happening. There we go. Our queen and princesses enjoying the sun.
Yeah, it's a great day. It really is, you know. From where we're sitting, we can see right where the sun is now hitting onto the reviewing stand, and melting the hearts, making everybody feel good. Okay?
Yeah. We see Father John Walsh over on the reviewing stand. But before we talk about him, we have a vox pop from Catherine.
Hi, guys. I'm here with, what are your names?
Anna. Ashlia.
Ashlia.
Anna.
Neil.
And Brandon.
Brandon, okay. And what brings you out to the parade today? Why did you guys come?
I was very excited. It's my first time at the parade, and I saw in National Geographic that Montreal is the #6 city in the world to celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, it's part of the top 10 in the world.
In Ireland, it beat out. They're #7. You guys are #6. So yay, Montreal!
So yeah, you had to come. You had to come and see it for yourselves.
I'm originally from Montreal. I moved to Ottawa, but I had to come back to my lovely city to see the parade because it's always a festival I attend every year. And best people, most exciting place to be. Montreal, baby!
Thanks, guys.
Okay, and let's sit back and listen to the Royal Canadian Army from HMCS.
Donnacona.
Donnacona.
What a thriller of a band, Richard. Wouldn't you say a thriller of a band?
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I mean, I don't want to be a judge. Man, it's going to be an awful day to pick the best of the best.
That could be the winner of the Quinn Family Trophy for Best Military Unit.
Yeah,
could
very
be,
well be. But it's going to have a lot of competition.
Of course. Yeah. And here we see Electrica.
Once
they're
again,
one of our corporate sponsors.
Commercial contributors. And we really appreciate their help and assistance and really appreciate the fact they come out.
Of course, Mr. McGilligan, he's a fantastic man. He's from Ireland. And he's installed himself here in Montreal as a member of our community, and he's giving back and participating in the community.
Mark the name down, folks. When you need something, you go to your own people.
Electrica, your home electrician.
Yes. And now we have CTV.
Oh, this is going to be a loud one.
Oh, gosh, yes.
You know, everybody's going to be Lori Graham. You know, last year she was the GOAT.
Yeah.
With the weather. This year she's going to be Miss Popular.
We must tell you that Bell is connected with CTV, and they're the ones that are doing the
this
parade
production
today. This
Absolutely.
Production, it'll be shown and publicized subsequent date. We're looking to hope to outdo last year, but last year's was very popular. Okay, trivia on CTV directly from Catherine.
Yes, we are here and we are back for some trivia. And my question for you is right here we have the CTV float. What did CTV, the news channel, usually stand for? Was it A, MFox, B, NBC, or C, CFCF?
CFCF.
Yes, that is the winner, CFCF. That was the CTV float, and we are here at the Montreal Parade.
And as the float's going by, we can see some of Bernadette Short's dancers. The Moran Academy of Irish Dance are up there.
And here we are with Siasma, who are the winners of the...
Richard, we call it Shimsa.
We do.
We do.
Yeah, well, those of us that mispronounce it don't pronounce it that way.
Shimsa.
Shimsa.
It's their 4th year in the parade, Richard. They were the winners of the Liam Daly Heritage Award last year.
Yeah.
They teach tin whistle, traditional fiddle, and baran. They've been around since 1991. Denis Martin is their president, and he's playing a tin whistle now.
There you are.
Actually, there's a bunch of them. kind of
There's
hard
a
to
whole
hear.
group right there.
Yeah. Dennis is he's closest to the side. Fantastic. Every Monday night you can find them at Hurley's upstairs, just having a session up there, playing their music, just having fun, which is what it's all about, really.
So yeah, this is a great day.
Yeah, we're looking at the reviewing stand. I can see Lynn up there, John Gilroy. I can see
yeah, with John Gilroy and
Father John.
Catherine, over to you.
Hi, everyone, and I've seen some familiar faces. I'm back with the Queen from last year in her court. What is it like being back here this year?
Warmer, for one, but also really special, I think, to see it from a different angle, and there's so many people out this year. It's really nice.
It's so great to see you girls are still here. Tell us what your year was like last year.
Well, we got to do so many different events last year. We got to meet so many different people, and it was honestly just the best experience ever. I feel like we've become such great friends over this experience, so it's really nice to come back together today and just experience all of it together.
Yeah. And to keep giving back to the community that gave us so much, you know.
And there's a really good turnout this year, too. It's really impressive.
The turnout this year is just absolutely fantastic. It's gorgeous out, and it's just so much fun to see everyone out again.
And so what advice do you have for the Queen and her court this year?
I would honestly just say embrace every single moment. I mean, make as many relationships as you can, have fun, and like Carly was saying, give back to the community and keep that up and have a good Irish season.
And keep coming back.
Yeah. Keep coming back. Third biggest St. Patty's Day parade in the world. We're super proud. Back to you guys.
And now we're going to be seeing the Hudson contingency. This is a parade that grew up over the last couple of years with a little bit of assistance and sponsorship from the United Irish Societies, but we're very, very proud of the connection with Hudson. They have their own Queen selection evening, and they have an entire set of events. And you know, it's come to the point where the Irish season runs to 6 or 7 weeks rather than just a couple of days.
And we're looking at a couple of princesses going by.
Yeah.
And all by her lonesome is one of our own, Ms. Shannon Pine, selected the Queen of the Hudson Parade this year.
Yeah.
She's one of our marshals in the parade. She's omnipresent at our events. And I know her dad is just, and her mom are just thrilled that she was chosen in Hudson and that she's able to participate in our parade as
and
their
a couple
queen.
of gorgeous Mustang convertibles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. With which they, I'm sure, have received through sponsorship.
I would think so.
That's the way it works in parades. Of course, Sharon, once she's done with the parade, I'm sure Shannon is going to don her top hat and get back to work as a marshal. That's just how dedicated she is.
Oh, yeah. She's a star. She's a star. No question.
As we were talking about before, as we see Shannon go by, they start as Irish dancers and they end up as queens.
Well, there you go.
And we're looking at... and
then they end up as presidents of the association.
Yes, they do, which is the right thing.
Sure.
We're looking at the Mary-Claude Rousseau School of Irish Dancing coming by.
Right.
Which is a little bit of a stretch from this year, from previous years. They're at ground level as well. Maybe they've taken a page out of the Moran Academy and some of the other ones that do things at ground level. They put on a good show. You know, everybody can see them.
I have a law partner who used to be a dancer.
Catherine?
Catherine Eustace. Who's the legal advisor for the parade now, and I gave that up a couple of years ago, and she took over doing a terrific job. But she remembers all of that dancing stuff. Boy, I tell you. These kids.
Look at them go. My sister was a dancer with Mary Claude all those years ago. And she's moved on to Halifax now, but I'm sure if she lived here in the city, she'd be involved in the community somehow. Some of the parents coming by, supporting their kids. One of them, of course, is Trish Bernier and Leslie Bernier, I think. Maybe not. Definitely Trish Bernier. Her daughter dances with the Mary-Claude Rousseau. Okay. Let's send it over to Catherine.
We have here, right here, the Vikings du Vinland, and I can tell you, Ireland is indeed in Montreal today, but the Irish aren't the only ones here. We also got the Vikings Vikings. And who are the Vikings of Inland and what do they do? Well, they are a medieval, as you can see, reenactment group who focus on the Viking period. You know, they bombarded us last year, and as you can see, well, they might just bombard us again this year. So let's watch a bit how things were done back in the Viking era.
Aren't they fantastic? Richard, they were so good last year. They did win the 92-5 for Best Cultural Community, the trophy for Best Cultural Community.
Well, the connection with the Vikings and the Irish are very interesting. The Vikings actually invaded Ireland, but never conquered Ireland, because there were sections of Ireland that resisted both the Napoleonic and all the other invasions that happened. And interestingly enough, they were some of the first settlers in Canada. Although they weren't really settlers, they discovered, but they folded up and went home. So they don't get the credit for founding the country, because you've got to be able not only to land, but you got to make it all happen.
That's an interesting fact, Richard.
And now, celebrating my only football touchdown of the world on a block punt with Peter Howlett's brother Chris, who passed away over this past year also. Okay, we were at McMaster playing football.
And you actually scored a touchdown.
I scored a touchdown recovering a block kick, and we fought over who would get the ball.
Richard won. Of course, here is their marching band, and let's listen to them. Out of this world, Richard.
Yeah.
Now, wouldn't it be nice if one of our universities here in Montreal had a band such as this to wow us with?
There's an academy out in the West, in Montreal West. What is it? Royal West has a marching band.
They do at the high school level, but I'm talking university level.
Oh no, it would be something to start.
It would be.
Somebody should get after it.
A bunch of rowdies up on McKibben's Irish pub float, dancing around, having a good time. There's another one of those pubs you were talking about.
They're the ones that sponsor the...
They're one of the sponsors of the breakfast.
Yeah.
And look at that brownstone. That's the original. Look at them go.
A picture of sobriety.
Yes. I hope so.
At least we reinvented the flatbed so they can't fall off, right?
No, they're fantastic. They're wonderful. Yeah. Of course, all of our spectators are not drinking. That's something we're very strict about.
Yeah, well, it's good to see that.
Yeah, it's important. Safety first, right?
Yeah. And now we have Expos Fest.
Expos Fest.
This is the mayor's favorite.
The Expos,
okay,
yeah.
He's telling us we're going to get the Expos back within 3 years.
Well, he was in Victoriaville yesterday talking to the Little League Canada convention about the Expos, and that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when the Expos come back. Yeah. And I firmly believe the mayor and him saying that. He's a very persistent individual, and when he has it in his head, it's going to get done.
Well, the trick is you got to buy those season tickets.
And of course, this float is sponsored by George A. Hall Transport. They're one of those groups, companies that come back in the parade and help us indirectly by helping one of our floats.
They have an event coming on the 3rd
of April,
my birthday.
At Plaza Centreville, which is where we had our selection evening. And a whole bunch of former Expos are going to be there. They're having fun. And what a beautiful horse going by with Little Angels Oncology. April Collins does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
It's her 10th year participating in the parade. They advocate for cancer research.
Good for them.
They do.
Yeah. There's a lot of good going on. A lot of good.
A lot of good in the community, and it's nice to see them getting a little bit of notice.
Well, it's nice to take a day to recognize it, eh? To take a day where you recognize everybody across the community, you know?
Speaking of recognizing in community, Dawson College. Let's just listen.
Well, we have a special guest with Catherine.
Yes, I'm here with Jeff Kelly, who was the Grand Marshal last year. It's good to see you again. How do you do today?
I'm doing very well. It's a lovely day. St. Catherine Street is full. There are lots of people just out enjoying being Irish and enjoying the sunshine.
What's the difference between being in the parade down there last year, or the head of it, and being here this year?
Well, it's more relaxed this year, but it's a great honor to be the Grand Marshal. I enjoyed it very much because mostly it's about fun. But it's a little bit promoting all the good work of the Irish community and their great contribution to Quebec and Montreal. So it was a great honor to be Grand Marshal. It's more relaxed this year.
And it's also about family. A lot of families come out here. How far back does your family connection to the parade go?
Well, I mean, we've always, when my kids were little, we used to come and watch the parade. I passed a few of them. They were back at Bishop Street, so they now come and watch the parade on their own as they're grown up. So we must have been coming for a good 25, 30 years, and we always enjoy it. It's a great outing. It's spring. It's an occasion just to get out and enjoy the sun.
And the tradition keeps going.
Exactly. Soon, my granddaughter's 4, so still a little bit young, but we'll pass the tradition along to her for sure.
Thanks for your time today. Happy Parade Day.
Thanks. Good talking to you.
Back to you guys.
Well, Jeff's got the tradition right. His daughter and his granddaughters, and bring them on. Bring them on.
What do we have here, Richard?
Virgin Radio.
Virgin Radio. Full of energy.
We're giving away $1,000 of jewelry. He forgot to give you $1,000.
That's one big float.
It is. It is. Just let it go by.
And now we have Kids for Curling. This
or
is
curling for kids.
Curling for kids? Kids for curling?
Well, the kids are for curling also.
We're all for everybody.
Yeah. One for all for one.
And this started years ago by a bunch of guys who just thought it'd be a good idea to buy some junior level curling equipment. It doesn't take much.
Well, it's a very fun sport. I've managed to curl numerous times in my lifetime.
Well,
I haven't broken anything yet.
You haven't? Well,
no. Came close.
I was a competition curler. We went down to the United States, played down there, played here at the Gordon Medal. Some of the guys. And the other day I was at the Royal Montreal Curling Club, giving them their information for the St. Patrick's season. And now we have a band getting ready to go.
Oh,
here we go.
This is not a band. This is the Drumline des Carabins.
Right, here we go.
They're more than a band.
University of Montreal's best. Catherine, why don't you talk about these folks for us?
As you said, it's really important to showcase the Drumline des Carabins de l'Université de Montréal because they are the only university drumline in Canada. So we're really lucky to have them here today. We're really grateful that they are the only drumline, university drumline in Canada. And I have to say, the music this year is just incredible. I'm having a blast down here. We have some really good music showcased at the parade this year. Let's take a listen.
Well done. Well done.
Of course, this is their 5th year in the parade, Richard, as they go by. They were founded in 2011, and they aim to play at Carabin home games at Sepsum Stadium and other events on campus.
You know, potentially Montreal is one of the leading university towns in the world. The number of universities that we have here, the CJEPs, the educational stuff, it's absolutely amazing.
Probably more per capita than anywhere else in Canada.
Yeah. That'd be a demographic that would be interesting to shake out.
Well, we just saw Belfour Restoration go by. Another one of our friends from the corporate community.
And I've noticed them. They have their sponsorship on the
on our golf carts.
Golf carts, yeah.
That's right. They help us pay for those. Here's a lost mascot from the Children's Hospital, I think.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's not easy in one of those uniforms to get the right directions.
No, well, he seems to be alone.
And one more time with the Irish dancers.
The Young Academy of Irish Dance. It's their 5th year participating in the parade.
Boy, some of those little ones are young, I can tell you.
They are. Well, the instructor is young, Janice Young.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're little ones. They were founded in 2009, and then they have classes in Verdun, Chateauguay, and Ormstown. Janice Young cut her teeth with the Mary Claude School of Irish Dance, Mary Claude Rousseau School of Irish Dance, and she's branched off on her own, as some of the Irish dancers do.
One leads to the other.
That's right.
One leads to the other. There's something to be always said for activity because it creates activity. This is the GMAA.
I'm not sure what this is, Richard.
The GAA.
No, the GAA went by earlier.
They did?
Yeah, they did. Now we got the Chateauguay contingent. They're likely for the Chateauguay contingent.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Fred Appleby is in this vehicle going by. Fred was a long-time UIS
for
member.
Our Lady of Professional Help in Chateauguay.
Yeah.
And that's another place where they hold a parade that was spun off from the Montreal parade, but that's a long time ago.
Well, that was the brainchild of Mr. Ernie Presso.
Ernie Presso and his wife, who've done a terrific job there. And, you know, it's like anything else. As I said, the energy goes, and suddenly you find you can do it yourself, you know?
Here we have Chateauguay's parade royalty,
the Queen,
saluting ours. They've really bonded amongst the different queens and courts this year. They were all in Hudson yesterday. It's a great sisterhood, I think.
Well, you know, it's nice to think that we can offer that to young people and build their confidence and build their ability to act and interact. I'm inspired these days by how many of them are in senior educational institutions, law schools and
going for their masters.
Yeah, masters. Amazing.
So here we have the Garde de Terrebonne. It's their 10th year participating in the parade. Let's listen.
I understand Catherine may have someone for us that wants to do a proper and good interview.
Yes, I have the honor to be here with Dr. Bassett, who's the Irish ambassador to Ottawa. Thank you for being here today and interviewing with us.
Yeah, no, I love coming to the Montreal Parade. I think this is number 4 that I've done in the last 6 years. So no, it's a highlight to come here for the parade.
Compared to parades in Ireland, what's this one like? How is it different?
Well, I think the parading is much more a North American event. I think in Ireland we've certainly started it, but I think this is the original, the east coast of North America. I think the parade here, if anything, is bigger. In Ireland it tends to be almost also a multicultural. All our new communities all take part in it. But no, I would say that Montreal certainly has the tradition.
And what do you love about the Montreal Irish community?
Well, I love the fact that it's a very old community, and you can feel that. It's got great tradition. You've got families that are going back, and just talking to some people, even with the hats here, they've had the hats in it for 100 and something years. Yeah. So it's a tradition, and it's the way they pull together, and their tremendous sense of holding on to the culture. Some people say that people like the Montreal Irish are actually more Irish than the Irish in Ireland.
There's a huge sense of nationalism here, and a very strong community.
There is, and it's. I love the way that I come down for organisations like Innisfail, like the Éireann Sports Association, the Ancient Order of Hibernians, and as I say, they have a tremendous fellow feeling with each other. They pull together, and actually, it's also one of the great joy about the place. They really enjoy themselves, and I feel honoured that they let me become part of that community.
Well, we're honoured to have you today. Thank you for your time again. Have a great parade.
All the best. Good luck.
Thank you, Catherine. And that's a very special person that you had there. We're losing him. He'll be replaced in the summertime.
And here are some very special people. On a land far, far away, George Lucas created an empire and made a heck of a lot of money.
I can tell you.
Look, we have the stormtroopers.
I don't think
we have
they're
Chewbacca, a big Chewbacca.
They're not making it in the cosmetics business. I'll tell you that.
An Irish not a stormtrooper, good guy. This is the Fortress Imperiale, 501st Legion. They're just a bunch of people who are Star Wars enthusiasts. And,
fanatics.
Right. And some of them are Scottish, I think, wearing kilts.
And now we're looking at something that's also a tradition each year. Martin Ambino and the Savoys giving us their drum music. Let's listen in. Happy St. Patrick's from the islands.
Of course, Martin is up there on the flatbed in the black coat.
Right.
They've been participating for a good number of years now, 18 years in fact. And they've won a number of awards. Best Cultural Community in 2009 amongst them. Here we're looking at CP, at a banner for CP. And they have a train too. CP is one of our new corporate friends.
Corporate sponsors, yeah.
Come in
and I want you to know, Canadian Pacific Railways and Canadian National hired a lot of Irish people over the years.
Well, my grandfather being one of them, worked for CN.
Yeah, well, my wife worked for CN. My father worked at one point for CP. I worked for both in summertime, putting myself through school.
But this is sort of a fun fact, Richard. Did you know that Canadian Pacific Railway was founded in 1881?
Yeah, you were there, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. Their chief executive officer is E. Hunter Harrison.
Yep.
And every year they have a holiday train that crosses the country. It's full of light. They have a band on there, I think, as they go through towns.
Oh no,
spreading good cheer during the Christmas season.
And also, all of the railway people have the railway graduates sort of alumni thing, where they go out and do good works on their own. It's the pensioners.
That's the way it should be. That's really the way it should be.
Yeah. So I thrilled my son-in-law. I gave him a minor set, okay?
Yeah.
Of railway. A locomotive and a couple of cars and some track and all that.
And let's pass it over to Catherine for a trivia.
Hi! We're ready to play some more trivia, and I'm here with Justine. Justine, t'as 10 ans. Puis est-ce que c'est ton premier défilé de la Saint-Patrick?
Non.
OK. Là, on va jouer à du trivia. Donc, vrai ou faux, est-ce que Montréal a un club de rugby irlandais?
Faux.
C'est vrai, ils ont un club de rugby irlandais qui a été construit en 1957. Puis on vient de les voir passer. Merci d'avoir joué avec nous. Bonne Saint Patrick.
Merci.
Au revoir, jeune fille. Merci, merci, merci d'avoir participé.
Here's another new entry in
There
the
we go.
parade. Dublin's Pub, apple cider.
Apple cider.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
what do you know?
It's a Quebec-based apple cider.
There's more ways to sin than you can count, eh?
Sometimes too many. Here we have, I see a bumblebee, Richard.
A bumblebee?
Bumblebee. It's the city of Westmount.
City of Westmount is a bumblebee. Eh?
Well, maybe
All
that's
right.
their logo, their mascot. They have a public security vehicle.
Yeah, but over the years, boy, they've been coming forward and coming forward. Peter Trent and all the gang. There was Timmins,
Brian
the
O'Neill
chief of
Gallery.
police, Brian O'Neill Gallery.
Look at that, promoting their day camp.
Yeah.
Well, they seem to be a more festive group from Westmount this year.
Yeah,
they've
but
been more subdued in previous years.
No fire engines.
No, I think those days are
No
gone.
fire engines.
Now that the fire engines are part of the
city.
The city of Montreal.
That was the mergers, eh? That everyone
was.
loved.
And here are the Boys and Girls Clubs of LaSalle. Tiny little group, but they do a bunch of good in the LaSalle community. My mother-in-law actually volunteers and helps the children with their homework over at the club.
Okay, a vox pop from Catherine. Off you go.
Hi, everyone. I'm with a big group here. What are all your names? What's your name?
Michaela.
Melissa.
Oh, and what?
Say one.
Hi, Yvonne. And what? Vanessa.
Sophia. Talia.
Hi. Well, we've got a big group. So what brought you out here today? Why did you bring your families to the St. Patrick's Day Parade?
The spirit of Montreal.
It's the spirit of
Part
Montreal.
of our heritage.
So you guys are loyal Montrealers. And is it your first time?
Yeah.
My first time. No, I've been here before. I've been last year and the year before, and I love the parade. It's incredible.
Well, thanks so much for bringing your family out. We'll be back with some trivia in a few.
Now we're seeing go by a group from Bretagne.
This is, Les Bretons du Québec. They're a new organization. They used to participate under a different name, but they had a much bigger participation in yesterday's Quebec City Parade.
And they're connecting to the Celtic sort of connection.
That's right. They're Celtic. Now
we can hear some noise coming.
Of course, Les Titans de Québec, 9th year in the parade. Let's give them a listen.
Size of that guy. And Trumpet's almost bigger than he is.
And what a fantastic band.
What a band.
L'Équitane de Quebec. They also were at Quebec City yesterday. But what's the difference? One of the differences between here and there is that there's no reviewing stand there and there's no judging. So you just reach the end of the parade and you're done. So having the reviewing stands gives these guys an opportunity to show their stuff and vie for awards.
Well, I can tell you, I wouldn't want to be a judge this year.
No.
Here's the Lesbos candidate for the Nobel Prize. That's that whole refugee problem in the Middle East that they've been taking such a leadership role in, and this is welcome to Greece.
Yeah, and that's like the ambassador said earlier. He was talking about the festivities in Ireland being multicultural. Ours is too.
We have to reach out.
Yeah.
We have to reach out, you know, because we're all in the same boat.
Here we have.
Here's the Irish Embassy. That's the
grill. That's our friend, Mr. Paul Quinn. No
Paul.
relation. Paul, of course, was our Grand Marshal this year.
Drove us back from the breakfast the other day.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a fantastic man he is.
Good guy. Good guy. And the cannons are, well, you know, talked about family. Curette's related to all of the cannons from Quebec City. Remember Joe?
Joe Jr., Joe Sr.?
Yeah, Joe Jr., Joe Sr.
Wasn't Joe Sr. one of the protagonists in the Green Line all those years ago?
Well, that was the one-day Green Line. The Green Line was my dad in the 50s.
But I'm talking about when the Blue Collars
and one year the Blue Collars went out, and Teddy Blackman and Joe and a bunch of guys went down and did the line.
I think the other one was Jeff Rimmer.
I think so, yeah. I think you're right.
So we just saw the Friends for Mental Health go by.
Yeah, well, I think they were a little bit sort of over-celebrated before because some of the line was a little crooked.
It was. But that picture, it's a celebrated picture. It's actually with the Library and Archives Canada.
Well.
We went looking for it and we found it.
Oh, good.
Here we
Here's
have
Bishop's alumni.
Well, we have Côte St. Luc EMS going by. They do fantastic work in their community.
The Citizens on
Public
Patrol.
Works. Bishop's University alumni, as you said. They're back in after a little bit of a vacation. And they represent graduates from coast to coast and around the world as well, as all alumni associations do. So let's pass it over to Catherine for some information.
It's time for some more trivia. And the trivia question is where is Bishop's University located? Is it located in St. Patrick's Church, A, B, Bishop Street downtown, or C, in Lennoxville, Quebec?
I would say Lennoxville, Quebec.
It is in Lennoxville, Quebec. Thank you for playing. There's a fun fact and some trivia about Bishop's University.
Well
done.
Well, there's a different sort of university on Bishop Street, but, you know.
Yeah, well, that's the University of Life.
Yeah. Let's look over there, Richard. We're doing great. Who do we have here? This our friends from Chaume. Our friends from Chaume, they're loud. They've been participating for over 20 years. They participated in the Grey Cup and Olympic parades. Montreal Spirit of Rock since 1969.
There's a lot of superstructure this year, on the stuff. They're putting up the superstructure to hang the speakers on. And
safety first.
Makes a hell of a noise.
I think we're having a revolution.
And here is the TRCF.
Yes. What does it stand for, Richard?
It stands for the Canadian flag.
No, I thought I taught you well.
Oh, well, here you go, Catherine. Enlighten me as to the TRCF.
The TRCF, would you look at that flag? Isn't it something unusual and interesting? It's a beautiful flag because it depicts both the duality of Canada, so the Canadian English heritage in red and the French heritage in blue. So I thought that was really noteworthy and beautiful to the culture we have here in Canada.
Well, that's a very nice thought.
And they like to call themselves the renewed Canadian flag, TRCF. They have some knights.
Everybody's trying to do good. Everybody's trying to do good. This
Speaking
is
of doing good,
Father Pops,
Le Bon
Father
Dieu dans la
John's
rue.
Bon Dieu dans la rue. He started that many years ago. He'd go out in the middle of the night. He'd open his door, as you can see there, and he'd have youth come in, young people come in for a coffee and warm up and make sure that they got themselves off the street. He took over an awful lot of difficult young people and put them on the right path. And nowadays what happens is we see the young people that were in trouble around that time showing up and volunteering for the parade because Father John's did something that touched them.
That's right. Founded in 1988.
Yeah.
So they've been around for a good number of years.
Good stuff.
25, 30 years.
And here is a perennial winner of something or other, whatever they want to call it, Bain Magique.
Bain Magique.
Bain Magique. Have a good look.
C'est Bain Magique.
They'll put their tub over your tub seamlessly.
It's another one of those groups that they're just out to have some fun.
Right.
They're one of our corporate friends.
Yeah, and last year they were a little cold.
Well, it was cold water in the tub, probably.
Right.
It froze. It's their 8th year participating in the parade.
Can you imagine working for a company like that when this is part of your job?
You want me to do what? I'm in. Let's do it.
I just want to type.
Of course, once we're done with the street level bathtubs, there's a float right behind. See a rainbow.
There's a rainbow. Bain Magique. Absolutely phenomenal. What an entry. What an entry.
Yeah, they usually make a variation on their theme. It usually involves a pot of gold, and we see the pots of gold as they're going by. Again, their employees come out, and it's a good team building experience.
I can tell you. I want to work there.
Me too.
Miss Canada Globe.
Well, this is Miss Canada Globe going by. They're lovely ladies, but of course there's only one set of parade royalty for our parade, and that's our queen in court.
Yes, well, we won't be chintzy though. They did come and participate. We're glad to have them.
Of course.
All the more beautiful women there are there, the better it is for all the unmarried guys. Married guys, be careful. And here we have the Ukrainian festival. And the Ukrainian festival celebrates
their festival.
Well, I guess their festival. Last year they had a big arch, eh? They had a big heart last year, remember?
I believe they did,
yeah.
And that was an appreciation for our thoughts on the troubles that are going on in Ukraine. It's their 14th year participating in the parade. Of course, I always remember Mr. Ed Dorozowski, who was one of the main organizers at one point. I think he's passed the baton on to a younger crowd. We see the town of Hampstead. Hampstead,
yeah, you know, there's sneakers here.
But they're in the parade. They're a municipality in the Montreal area.
If you can get the sense of something coming with major big-time energy, this is what you got to be listening for, ladies and gentlemen at home.
University of Queens Bands.
Got to be waiting for Queen. My younger brother teaches at Queens. He loves the place.
Is he in a band?
They took him right out. No, he's in the MBA program.
Okay.
And he loves the place. He swears by it. And I tell you, they come to this parade. Were you the one that brought them in first?
They were in the 90s before we were involved.
But I can tell you,
we bring them back as much as we can.
Just sit back and enjoy the looking and enjoy the listening. Fabulous gang.
Richard, the University of Queens bands, there's two of them. There's a marching band and a pipe band.
And their majorettes.
They have some cheerleaders who are over by the judges' stand, as we see now. I'm always scared to see this, I'm afraid. But they're trained, do a fantastic job.
They do, and they love it.
Of course, they're ever present at their football games and at other events on campus in the Kingston area.
I played in Queens 4 times in my career at Loyola. We got our butts kicked every time.
Well, they're a dominant.
They're a dominant force.
Dominant in everything they do.
Yeah. Of course, at the time, the Big Four was only McGill, Western Toronto, and Queens.
Yeah.
Now they've got the Francophone universities and everybody else. Box pop from Kathleen. Kathleen, take it away.
Hi, and we're here with
Karen O'Reilly. Mildred.
And Amber O'Reilly. And what brings you to the parade today?
We love to celebrate our heritage, Irish, and so we come every year.
How long have you been coming?
Long time. Years, 50-some years.
So it is a family tradition that you all come out to?
Yeah, actually we come in from wherever we are and we do a family reunion.
That's amazing.
Hi, I'm here from Virginia. I just came for the Irish parade.
You came in for the parade?
Especially. I try to get here as much as possible. Yeah. And it's a great, celebration of our Irish heritage.
It is. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
And as we can see there, the marshals of the parade came by as a group. Now we have a couple of Montreal policemen on their
horses?
Equestrian horses. And
are there any
which
other
are
horses?
The best kind of horses.
Yes.
Right? And the parade is winding down.
Richard, take a look down the street as we see the police go by.
If you see the 2 police cars, ladies and gentlemen, you can see all the way down to Peel and beyond a mass of people in the streets.
Holy moly.
I'm looking at 750,000 or more.
No, it's not that much, Richard, but it's up there.
Well,
You're
it's
looking
up there.
Half a mil.
It's up there.
Yeah.
Okay, because I can remember Stanley Cup parades that they quoted at $1 million, and it looked like that.
Beautiful day for a parade.
Beautiful day for a parade.
Beautiful
Gorgeous
day for
weather.
families.
People just having a good time.
We have to say congratulations to Patty McCann and her team.
Yeah.
For putting this together, all of the volunteer hours. Because remember, we're all volunteers.
And we have to remember all of the people from Bell that have done such a camera work and sound work and all of the things that support, guys like you and I that stand up and do the talking, right? It's going to be a real dinger to try and match next year and the years to come. But come back out. Next year we'll be doing something hopefully different, but probably a lot the same because we love it. Wow, what a day.
The sun was out today, and we really got to see the impact Ireland has had on the city of Montreal. Ireland was really in Montreal today. Everybody came out. It really is, the parade is really for every Montrealer.
From young ones, rugrats, to grandparents, people came out to watch a great parade.
So thanks for being with us here today, and we hope to see you again next year. That marks the end of the 193rd St. Patrick's Day Parade here in Montreal. Over and out.
Over and out.